Hello everyone and welcome back to section 4 of this course. I'm very excited because this is going to be a very cool section of the course in which we're going to get into how you can generate PDF files using Python. So you can use this for reporting, you can use this for automatic letters, certificates, all that kind of things that have to do with PDF files. You're going to be able to do that with Python, and I'm very excited about this because I know that I've helped a lot of people. And this helps you a lot to save just a ton of time and use that time to focus on more productive stuff. So I hope that this accomplishes the same thing that it has done for a lot of other people that I've worked with. So what's the narrative of this section? The narrative is simple. Basically, you were promoted to a manager position, and now with your new position, your boss is expecting you to have a monthly meeting in which you will present your results, and your goal is to create a PDF format that you can use every month to report your results with graphs and the data. So in this video specifically, we're gonna create a PDF page with Python. And as you'll see, when we finish the whole section, when we finish the whole project, it'll look something like this. You'll have the introduction page with just image and text here, the name of the company, a shape just to make it look better. Then we'll have goals, results, and this is stuff that you can easily change to whatever it is that you're doing. Then we'll have graphs, and this is one of the most interesting parts. Why? Because all you have to do is change the data on the spreadsheet, and when you run the code, then what that's going to do is it's going to change the whole graphs. So that's very cool. Now, things that we're going to cover in this video, we're going to cover how you can add shapes to the PDF, images, write text in the desired location, configure elements to the position you want with the size you want. So without being said, let's get into the code. As you can see, I have imported a lot of stuff. Now, a lot of it we will not use in this video particularly, but we will need to use it as we go along. So I just said, why not just include it all together right now? So we're going to need XLRD, and as we saw before, this is so we can read data from Excel spreadsheets. We're going to need matplotlib, and this is so that we can plot. This is just the style of a graph. Then this is the main module that we're going to be working with in this section. It's the report lab module. In this case, the PDF generation, and we need to get the canvas, and you'll see what that means later on. Here we need the report lab .lib, and we need the page sizes, and we want letter in this case, but it could be another size. And you can check the documentation to see what kind of sizes they have available as well. Then we need report lab.platypus, so we can import the image. And lastly, report lab.lib, so we can get colors and we can change. As you see, we're gonna change the color of the shape. Okay, so once we have that, then we can get straight into the code. In this case, as you see here, I have the code label. So this is going to be page 1. And what we're going to have to start with is, first of all, name the PDF file. So I just said PDF file name is set it equal to May 2018 monthly report.pdf. Then here is where we're going to enter the image that we want to add. So as you can see, this image is in my same directory. So make sure that you have your image in your same directory so that you don't have any problems, and you can actually see it here. It's frame something. So you can see it right now, but we'll get into this. You'll see what this is later. So this is just the name of the image, basically. And so this is logo. This is the image that we're going to be working with, this logo right here. And you can see the name of the file. Now this is something else. So don't worry about this. I think this is something from previous file that I did. I'm gonna comment this out. So then just forget about this part for now, and then we'll see. Okay. The first main thing that you have to do is create the canvas. And what I did, I just said C equals canvas, that canvas. And then here, this is where you enter the name of the file. So I just made the file name here. And here you enter the size, the page size. In this case, we said we want letter, and you can have it so it's horizontal and all of that stuff as well. Then once we have this, then all you have to do is just use C, and from there you can apply all the different methods that we're going to be working with. So for example, here we want the set font, and this is every time that you want to change the font, you're gonna have to do this. So you do that set font. Here you enter the font. In this case, I want Helvetica bold because this is gonna be for the title, and leading equals true. This just makes it more apparent. And there's different fonts. You can look through the documentation, but there's the basic ones. Pretty much all the basic ones that you'll find in Word, you should be able to find them here, and you can experiment and type, see which ones you have available. After you do that, then you do then this is where you start writing the text. So in order to do that, there's a method called draw center string, and what this is gonna do, we wanna draw, there's a draw string method and there's a draw center string. Draw center string just makes the string center, so that's very useful, especially when you use titles. So we want the title to be center, right? Then inside here, this is where you enter the location, and the format goes like this. You have to enter the X and then the Y coordinate. And then this is where you enter the text. So in this case, we say May 2018 report. Then we change the font again, and we want the same font, but we want it 25 instead of 30. And this is the size of the font. We want it leading, and we want to draw another center string, same location, but a little bit lower. And this is where we type the company name. Perfect. So once we have that, as you can see, I'm gonna just run this part for now. So I'm gonna comment this out and just run this part of the code. Now, in order for you to run the code, you need to have, this is so that it creates a page at the end. So this isn't really useful right now, but we can keep it here. We'll just keep it. And then this is very important. At the end, you always have you always need to have the c.save. And what this is gonna do is just save all the changes that you've made. Everything here is gonna be saved. So if I run the code, let's run it. Now I have the file here. This is the completed, what it's gonna look like. But now that I run the code, it's gonna be modified. And as you can see, we only have the changes originally. So we have May 2018 report, XYZ company. So this is perfect. This is exactly what we specified. Now, if you're wondering how does the location work of the text, it's very simple. So it all starts from here. So if you do 0, 0, it's gonna write here in this corner. And as you go up in the y-axis, it's gonna go higher and higher and higher. I think the limit is like 700, but you can experiment with different measurements and see where they end up. And then if you go to the right, this is where you have the x-axis. The higher the number, the more it's gonna be to the right. So for example, I'm gonna just draw a simple string, just c.drawString, just simple text, and we're gonna say 0, 0, and we'll say hello. Run the code. And then as you can see, now this is very important as well, I forgot to mention this. Once you open the PDF, once you run the code, it's gonna make, of course, the PDF file, and it's gonna be in the same directory that you're working with. Now, I would recommend to open the file with Chrome. This is what I'm using right now because Preview, which is the default in Mac, might not work because it checks and it knows that it's a created PDF file. So you might have problems and it might not open, but with Chrome, you shouldn't have any problems at all. Now, every time that you make changes, all you have to do is update this. And now, as you see here, I have hello. So that way you get a better idea of how this all works. Perfect. So I'm gonna get rid of this. This was just a test. And let's keep going with the rest. So first, here I'm setting the fill color. And then I am applying this method colors that deep sky blue. There's different colors. So we could colors that, I think colors that, for example, if you do red, there's a red color. And what this is gonna do is set up the color that you want. Now, once you set the fill color, you can draw a shape. So in this case, we're gonna draw a rectangle. And this is where you specify the location, the width, the height, the fill. Of course, we want the fill in order for the color change to take place, and the stroke. If it has the stroke, it's just basically the lines on the outside. Do we want that, yes or not? And I'm gonna show you what that's gonna look like. So first, let me just get rid of this, run the code, and then update here. And as you can see, this is exactly the rectangle that we wanted. Now, if we don't want this black line here, that's the stroke, so we could just say false. Run the code, refresh, and as you can see, we do no longer have that line. And as you also see here, we use the 0, location because we want it to be that specific location, but we do want to add the width and the height. And again, this is something that you're going to experiment with at the beginning because you won't have very good idea of where it's going to be located, but you can experiment with this and see what's the location that works for what you're doing. Now in this case, we said that we do want the stroke and we don't want that. We want the blue. So there's different colors. In this case, we used, so let's go back, see which color we used originally. Deep sky blue. Okay, so this is the one that we used. Okay, great. So now we should be able to run that and see the changes. So this is looking very nice so far. We have the report here, the number, the name of the company. Then we want to add the image, and this is very important how you can add images, but it's very simple, so don't worry. The way you can add images is, I just like to do it this way. Basically, you make a variable with the name of the image, and as you can see, this is the name of the image and it's in here in my directory. You store it there, and then you use the method draw image, and then you say here logo. Why? Because this is where the path is. This is the name of the file, sorry. Then you specify the location, the X and the Y coordinates, the width and the height. In this case, we want a squared image, so the width and the height have to be equal to each other. And once we run that, it's gonna draw the image. So let's update this. And as you can see, we have the image. It's a very nice image. And now our PDF is starting to take place. It's starting to look nicer and nicer. Okay, so lastly, what we want to do is we probably want to add the next page for the next section. So we do c.show page, and here we could draw something. So we'll do c.draw string, and we'll say 500, and we'll say test. And remember, the save always goes at the end. We'll run that, no problem, refresh, and as you can see, we have test. And that's how you create a new page. You use the c.show page method, and here this is where you enter the what you want the second page to have. So using these basic principles, you should be able now to add images, add text, and change the colors of different shapes and add shapes to a PDF file. So that's very useful, and I hope that you tune this to whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. Trust me, I've seen it work for a lot of people and just saves them a lot of time. And that's it for this section. So I'm just gonna get rid of this. So that's it for this section.